Vince Lombardi once said that winning isn't everything, it's the only thing. Later in life, he would say that it was a statement he wished he could take back. He would have rather been remembered for saying that your attempt to win should be everything. As our spotlight story tonight, I want to take a look at sportsmanship in high school athletics. It's something that most coaches preach, but it may take a back seat for some when their teams hit the field.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. I'm Cody Johnson with iFIBER. You've seen me broadcast high school and college sports here in the Columbia Basin. My background goes a little deeper, though. I grew up playing nearly all the high school sports that were available at Odessa High School, one of the smallest schools in the state. And I coached youth football, baseball, and basketball. I was also grateful to serve as a referee later in life because it shaped my perspective on our spotlight story, coaches who have a tendency to run up the scores. Hey, let's face it, we all love it when our teams do well. Pass, deep ball, man wide open, touchdown, Wenatchee. Pass right up the middle.
Here he goes.
And he's got some room. Touchdown.
Red
Chiefs
Dozer.
to the 5. Touchdown, Eagles. And he's got a blocker and room to run. Touchdown, Ephrata Tigers. But two teams caught my attention this year with the number of points they were putting up. Scores that would rival many high school basketball teams. Cusick High School has won games this year 70-6, 85-0, and 96-16. Liberty Christian High School has won 66-6, 70-6, 78-0, 76-0, and 90-26. It's a disturbing trend, and I had the opportunity to talk with some local coaches about it.
You know, I have such a hard time with that. I don't think anything positive comes from that. I think that all you do is hurt kids. I don't see why you have to win by 40. I think you should get kids playing time. I have no idea why someone would ever do that. I think it's my term is shady. I think it's just one of those things that an ethical coach doesn't do. And, I have no idea why you would ever preach that, teach that, or model that behavior. I think it's something just completely wrong, and I don't think a teacher or coach, anyone, should find, anything good about that.
I've never been involved too much in the thinking part of running up the score. And with that being said, I can't believe what I read in the paper this year.
Well, let me ask you this. You've been coaching for quite a long time. If you were to get beat these days by a score of 85-0, which is what Cusick did one time this year,
Yeah.
what would you say to something like that?
Well, first off, that's one of those situations, if you haven't been there, you don't know how you'd feel. You might, if your temper got over the top of you, then you'd be saying things you didn't want to say. As far as going over to the other coach, I know definitely that it would have been good game or way to go and get out of there. Because I don't understand that kind of drubbing that you would put on somebody else.
I want to follow up on this editorial with a couple points. The focus of this piece is not the players from these two schools. The players are coached, the coaches are advised by the athletic directors, and the athletic directors are responsible to their school districts. You might be able to point the finger in a lot of directions, but it shouldn't be the players. We had other coaches and a referee with over 29 years of experience weigh in on this topic, and you'll be able to catch a more in-depth look at this story over the weekend from our website, iFIBER1.com. I also want to point out that we did reach out to coaches and athletic directors at both Cusick and Liberty Christian High Schools several times over the past 3 weeks. And just this afternoon, they did respond. Their statements will also be included in my full editorial this weekend. Stay tuned. We're back right after this.